Hey everyone, it's Jessica Edwards in Wilmington, North Carolina. I want to talk about information online on online real estate services, specifically sites like Zillow. Zillow is great. I have a lot of clients that are big fans and get information from them. The problem with some of these sites is the information isn't always accurate. So two things. One, sometimes the information will show that a house is still for sale. It'll show that it's available. It'll show that it's on the market or it's a certain price, and that information is not correct. We constantly have people calling saying, hey, I saw this house for sale. It didn't pop up. You haven't emailed it to me. Well, that's because it's not actually for sale, or it sold 2 months ago, but it's still showing as sold. So make sure you get hooked up with a realtor that you trust and that you want to work with, or just somebody that has that MLS access and can set you up on your individualized client portal or search tool, so you're getting that information directly linked from the MLS, so you're getting it first and you're getting it accurately. That's going to help you tremendously if you're purchasing. Don't just depend on these online sites. They're great, but they're not always accurate. And we also, a big thing with that is they're not immediate. So our clients that we have set up on client portals and things directly linked with the MLS, they're getting the information first. So when a foreclosure property hits the MLS, they're getting an email from us letting them know that this property has just come on the market. A lot of times these online real estate sites, they're great, but the information isn't instant. So it's going to take sometimes 24 to 72 hours, at least 24 to 72 hours for that information to feed to these sites. Typically they pick up like every night at midnight or every other night at midnight, every 3 days or whatever. So you may see a property, if you only use one online search tool, you may see a property that pops up on there as a new listing on Wednesday, but maybe it already came on the market on Monday and it is such a good deal that it already has 2 offers on it by the time that you saw it. So that's not always going to happen, but it always is going to happen that those sites typically are not immediate because they're being fed from the MLS. The other thing is the estimates, and specifically with Zillow, the Zestimates are not always accurate. If they're pulling directly from the MLS, if anything's incorrect, if they're pulling from the tax records, we have properties here in Wilmington that may be on the waterway, $1 million home, and there may be an old, trailer park tucked back behind that you don't see, but they may be taking those values to give that $1 million house an average and giving a Zestimate that's way lower than it should be. So don't rely solely on those Zestimates if you're a big fan of Zillow. They're not always accurate, and depending on the city you're in and where they're pulling that information, if it's just from tax records or whatever, it may not be the most accurate and it may not be correct at all. So just something to think about. If you have any questions or comments or you disagree, please feel free to email me at jessicaedwards@seacoastrealty.com. And of course, you can always check us out at thecarolinasfinest.com. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day.